You look at that, you lose the hard point by 13 seconds. You lose a 2v4 where you're trying to, or 4v2, sorry, when you're forcing around 11. You've got two very close maps.
Composure.
And now you're fighting for pride and 200 pro points per player in what's going to be an uplink where I don't know what to expect coming into it.
Honestly, it comes down to experience, and it comes down to that level of composure. We talked about Millénium, a team that has some veterans. I mean, Tony J has been there for years, and Maxi is one of the, I think is actually one of the players in Europe that has attended the most events. He must have attended over 100 events, so it's kind of crazy. Maxi, so much experience, and you see in this kind of situation, that 2-on-4, you saw Maxi just play perfectly, just staying alive, making sure he could pick up the kills, forcing the Cyclone team to come in the faces, and that didn't really work out, did it?
We thought Stan was struggling. You just saw on the scoreboard there, Moscova ends that game 1-8.
Great plays.
Great plays. Tough performance there from him. Uplink for the French teams. From everything you've seen, what's the state to expect here? Is this going to be one where Millennium's going to stomp over this squad, or do you predict another even game?
Well, to me, uplink in France doesn't really exist. I wouldn't really say that's a game type where I would.
Could I beat the French at uplink?
No, don't push it. I don't think that you could. Maybe if you would team up with X, then maybe you could, because he could actually teach you how to play.
Is that another bad word?
No, that was all right.
Okay.
That was all right. You got to work on the accent.
I took French for 8 years to learn all that.
Yeah, I know, and you know so much. It's impressive. I could have saw you were French, you know, if you didn't tell me you were American.
What gives it away? My wonderful accent, my understanding of the language, or just the way I look? Maybe the
combination of all three, probably. Yeah.
I really do have the French.
Maybe the fact your name is Jack, but it's the American spelling, because Jack exists in French, but it's a different spelling.
Great name though, J-A-C.
Well, you know what? The only person that I know that wear the name Jack in France would probably be 80. So I think that could suit you. Or Maven.
Old age works for me. Millennium and Cyclone, if you're just tuning in, two French squads going at it. Millennium with a big advantage now, up 2-0. They're playing for pride at this point. Both teams are eliminated from the tournament, but this is more consolation for pro points. Which, yes, pro points as well. 200 pro point difference per player on this one. No prize money going to be earned, though, for some of these teams. As here's a look at the maps. If we do see Game 4, it will be Retaliation Hardpoint, which... Does Retaliation take place in France?
I'm not sure. Don't think so.
Is Geneva in France? No.
No, it's in Switzerland.
Okay.
But actually, it's at the border. So there is a lot of French people, and they speak French over there.
Good enough for me.
So, yeah, Jack, I'll give you the benefit.
Geneva is now in France.
Yes.
Here first.
All right. I'm sure they'll be pleased to hear. We'll take that, Banks. I'll tell you that.
Precinct uplink. Let's get into it. So far today, we've had a couple close maps in this one. Not sure what to expect in this. As I've said previously, if it's anything like maps 1 and 2, it will go down to the wire off the break. I do want to watch Zeke, though, because this is a guy that dropped, what, 40 and 21 in map 1 in the first respawn. Can he match the performance here? Solid game in S&D as well. Close to, if not getting those double digits, kills first team.
And I think it's great for a player like Zeke, you know, first big land for him, and he's able to deliver like this against a team like Cyclone, where sure they've not won the first 2 games, but he's actually played decently. It's going to be a lot of experience for him, and I look forward to see a lot more from him in the next few years.
Well, we talked a lot about Wuskin this weekend on Fnatic, for this being his first like major land sort of thing. Is it the same level as Zeke?
Yeah.
Or so you would put them right at the same spot in their career?
Well, Zeke is a little more experienced, I would say, because he's just been competing with more talent. We were talking about the fact last year he was playing with Shani, he was also playing with Carbon, who's Kataga's brother, who's extremely talented, still under 18. Someone we will see in the French scene very soon. I'm sure he's going to turn 18 this year. It's, you know, Zeke and Carbon, definitely the players I'm looking forward for the future of the French scene, and the players from Cyclone as well, actually.
Right there is a perfect example of poor play in this uplink from Slice on the side of Cyclone. He's watching the same statue side that 3 of his teammates are pushing out, and he lets himself get flanked and lose control of the drone. Now, because of it, look at what Millennium have earned themselves. A free dunk. They're going to be up 3-0 in the first minute. That was just a miscommunication from Slice watching the completely wrong side of that lobby room.
And I think, you know, Millennium, we saw them play yesterday against Team 3G, and they were able to walk away with the win in almost able to walk away with the win in uplink. It was very, very close. So definitely not as bad as an uplink team that I was trying to make it sound earlier. And you know, when it comes to uplink, I think the younger teams, the less experienced team, definitely got to make a lot of practice. We've
Yes.
seen it time and time again. I think Uplink's one of these game types where you're going to see the most experienced team win.
Well, that used to be the same thing with Capture the Flag, where it was the veteran
Yeah.
players and the teams with more experience in it just always knew where to position, always knew where to push, knew what lanes to block and hold down. And now it's developing a little bit more in Uplink as CTF no longer in the rotation. Uplink fills that void. As right now, Seiko and crew are just trying to get past the statue area. They keep picking up the drone and dropping it back down so it doesn't reset towards lobby because they've been in that scenario now for 30 seconds. Finally, Millénium wind up muscling on through, and they'll go ahead and put the pressure back on towards the side of Cyclone. Currently the score 3-0, a two-possession game with Millénium up early in this one.
Well, now on the upside, obviously Millénium is currently on a slightly favorable side, I would say. Definitely seen most teams have easier. I mean, it's easier to score on this side, but I also feel like it's a lot easier to defend. We've seen Fnatic yesterday; they literally had 4 minutes putting pressure on Infused, and yet they weren't able to score once when they were on that side. So definitely going to be helpful Millénium, and this is pretty much what they need. They need a strong start. You know, they're 2-0 up in the series. They just got to finish this one with Uplink. And if you're Cyclone now, it's going to be a tough situation to be in.
Cyclone still doing just what they can to get some map positioning, which you can tell has been very frustrating for them so far this game. They really haven't even focused at all on the drone, just pushing out this first wave of players from Millénium, and still there's somebody there to trade the kill. This time around, it's Zeke, who's been a little bit more quiet in this respawn, to say the least, currently sitting at 4-5. But it's engagements like that finally Moscova winds up winning for his team. Now they just need one more kill, and the player is still inside this L-wall area. It's Maxi sneaking around. There it is. Now you are going to watch these players push on up into Park. This is the best scoring opportunity yet for the Cyclone squad.
Yeah, but there is a lot of Millénium players that are going to be able to defend. He's going to go for the one, and he's going to miss. And even if he didn't miss, I'm pretty sure that would have been an interception.
That sums it up perfectly. I just kind of sat there for a second, watched the drone sitting right below the portal as they missed that throw. Don't worry, it's not just the French that have missed this weekend. We've seen actually from the best teams struggle in Uplink. All Europeans need to work on that, and I'm sure we'll see at Atlanta that North American teams need to as well. 1 minute and 10 seconds left inside one. Still the lead Millénium. Still the pressure, though, has been pretty even. Outside of 2 solid pushes from Millénium that got them those early scores in the first couple minutes, it's really been drone control on the side of Cyclone.
Yeah, they have the slaying opportunities. It's just very hard to score on this side, and he's gonna go for the one. It's gonna be intercepted, but even if it didn't, I'm not even sure that went in. I think it was short.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tragic. I mean, you spend 5 minutes creating opportunities, applying pressure, getting the kills, and when it comes down to getting these throws, you miss. This is, yeah, it can't happen if you want to be up there with the pro teams.
Nope, not at all. 25 seconds remaining. Millénium just trying to see if they can get a final score in on this side. They've been doing a fantastic job of getting bodies towards statue. You mentioned Tony still keeping the foot on the gas pedal at 14 and 11. Maul's right up there with him in kills. This should remain scoreless for Cyclone at the half unless somehow they can get a long distance throw off. It's all up to Seiko. What can he do? 4 seconds remaining. Not going to happen now as the drone drops to the floor. Millénium 5 minutes away from the sweep of Cyclone.
Yeah, and it wouldn't tell the full story, would it, Jack? Because the first 2 maps have been extremely close.
Very close.
This map is actually close. It's just basically Cyclone keep making it harder than it needs to be on themselves. They have everything they need.
If they hit those 2 throws, it's a one-possession game.
And it was that very first action as well. I mean, Millénium, if you look at it, they scored 3 in the first minutes. And if they didn't have that pull start and they were able to hit their 1-pointers, then it could have been 2-1 for them.
We very easily could break down how Uplink was played that first side from Cyclone. Get control of statue and try to push forward with the drone. Let's see what the boys at Millénium do now as they're going to take their chance at the side of pushing towards Park.
This should be a one, surely.
This should be a quick dunk. No, I think he's got the blocking. He needs, no! He gets killed as he goes into the portal, so the drone actually just carries its momentum in for only a 1.
Huge kill from Moles, I believe. And look at the kill feed on the left side. It's all blue. It's all Cyclone. Once again, they're able to apply the pressure. So it's looking a little scary for the boys on Millénium. They look great so far in this series. But Tony, once again, is going to be the hero on the side of Millénium, picking up 2 defensive kills. Very nice work from him. But if you're Millénium now, you need to start getting those kills.
Quick little thing, I did miss it in driving, but Maxi intercepts that drone right there again. So another missed 1-point opportunity, that time around blocked by the boys of Millénium. So it will remain a 4-1 game. That's the difference right now. 3 points are all led by interceptions or missed 1-point throws. Smalls with one of his own. That one will connect.
Millénium doesn't miss.
No, well, at least so far this game they haven't, as they're going to keep trying to put the pressure on. Rewind now, so they're putting actually some payload abilities in this as well, and it's Tony JS. The guy has been lights out, stays alive. Not sure if his teammates will be able to follow this one up as the spawns were still held down by Stan, but either way, nice plays from him.
Yeah, very, very nice plays from the boys on Millénium. And when I say Millénium don't miss, I actually mean it, because they're a team that consistently for the past 2 years, whenever Maxi was in the team, they would always be set up for the interceptions. They would always hit their 1-pointers. And even going back 2 years ago, Maxi and Tony JS were playing together in hyper games, and they were actually a very decent uplink team. They would put a lot of practice in it, and I feel like they've understood the importance of the 1-point training and the interceptions. So it's definitely one of their strengths. Just got to work on those little details.
Look at Zeke pre-firing. All these corners he goes around. It's got him 2 kills so far, nearly the 3rd. His teammates are pushing on up towards Park. Stays alive long enough to now grab the objective. 5 streak, the 1 as well. 6-1 lead, the largest lead of this game now for the side of Millénium with only 2.5 minutes remaining. They've got overdrive as well. If we see one more kill from Tony Jess, I was about to say he would have had a score. Maybe the 1. There it is. Perfect throw by Maxi. You said he doesn't miss. And Jonas, I should listen to you more often because you're correct.
Yeah, and especially Maxi. I mean, if you look at the other, I'm not sure if Zeke or Tony could eat all the 1-pointers, but if you're looking at Morse or Maxi, they will definitely eat all of them. Now, Stan is going to have the opportunity to go for the 1, and once again, it's intercepted, but it wasn't going to go in. Jack, this is tragic. It sums up the difference between Millénium and Cyclone. Cyclone just probably not as practiced in uplink as they should be.
That's just 4 missed opportunities now. That one I don't think would have gotten either way. Intercepted.